Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle, Volume 6. On the cover, we've got the family units, family units, and I mean, the symbology here is pretty obvious. Last chapter, Das went off to go save everyone, to fight Guillotine. I'm not sure how he's going to do it. I assume he's going to stop him, but I don't think he's going to make it out alive. And, like, the symbology here makes a lot of sense. Like, everyone else has big, bright, shiny eyes. His eyes are all hollow. He's the only one looking down. Like, he's dead. He's definitely dead. I really like the texture of the snow on them. It looks really good. Oh, and it's also, like, dappled out here in the back. It looks really nice. Like, the last time we saw snow in a, like, Alita cover, I believe was Last Order. Like, I'm pretty sure it was the flashback with the vampires. But this looks gorgeous. I think what really impresses me actually is like the fluffy stuff on Erica, Yoko, and Yoko's mom's outfits. Like the fact that it has that fluffiness to it, but it doesn't blend into the snow stuck on it. Like there are two very distinct textures that are both very like white dominance, but they don't overpower each other. That's really cool. Oh, actually, like in addition to the whole eye thing, Erica does have a knife, and she's not looking in the same direction that they're looking, so maybe it's a, Das is dead, now Erica has to try and protect them. Though, to be fair, I tried to do that deep analysis, like, last volume. It did not work out, so maybe I'll just tone it down a bit. On here, when I looked at this the very first time, like when I just loaded up the cover, I thought this was the Ethnarch. But now that I've been talking for a bit, I don't think it is. Like, the Ethnarch's head was so enormous. So, like, I thought it was supposed to be, like, just the Ethnarch docked. Don't think that's the case anymore. It probably, like, I assume it's supposed to symbolize the Ethnarch, though. Like, it's the terminal or something that Yoko has to, like, touch in order to make it verify that, yes, I am the new ruler of Sidonia. Bow before me. And then that causes the actual Ethnarch to also obey her. We've got this thing that looks like a monitor. This thing, which I don't know what that is. It looks vaguely kind of like a monitor, but then it has, like, a weird tube here, maybe? Oh, actually, that's a seat, I think. So maybe Yoko's gonna sit on that and then, like, see some stuff that she has to interpret. But yeah, okay. So it's probably not my favorite of these interior covers. My favorite's probably still Volume 1, actually. Like, just the shot of them walking to the orphanage. But this is nice in its own way. And I think that the sort of muted brown works really well with it. Alright, Log 27, Thus Sang Elton John. By the way, this is, as of right now, as of when I'm recording it, this is the last, like, volume of anything Alita I have to read. After this, I'm just waiting on the next volume, which is not out even in Japan. So, oh, it feels weird. It feels weird, like, finally being caught up to this series that I've, been with for so long. And it's not like I'll stop doing Alita stuff. I'll keep on reading the volumes and stuff. I'll do extra videos and whatnot if anyone wants them. Like, definitely a discussion later on. But, oh boy. So, we've got the showdown. You really think I'm the kind of man who would meet his end from some measly cowboy's pea shooter? I mean, I don't know how Das is going to do it. Like, especially the whip thing that he has. That seems extremely versatile and dangerous. I don't think we know whether Das is a cyborg, right? So, he might be a human. I assume not if he has any hope of a chance here. Also, like, it is super duper cold, but I mean, I guess, Alita, I mean, not Alita, but Erica and Erica's, Erica slash Yoko's mom, quote unquote, adoptive mom, like, they are humans as far as we know, and they seem to be fine out here, so I guess this is okay. But how is he gonna do this? I don't have any guesses. Alright, here we go. Oh, gasoline, maybe? Oh, it's antifreeze. When contained, antifreeze is guaranteed to remain liquid, even at negative 50 C. But in the 40 C atmosphere, the liquid splattered, instantly turning to thick, clinging frosts. Okay. I don't know why I thought, I guess just because that's the general trope of, it's something explosive. But this is significantly better. The entire time we traveled, I'd been thinking about it, how I might be able to snap his guillotine belt. Okay. So he's sending off a... is that some sort of, like... I mean, it's clearly some sort of missile. Is that supposed to be a suction cup? Oh! I was gonna say, this might just be rope, but no, it is segmented. Is this the stuff that Zazie used? during the tournament, she had the like the explosive, not whip. I guess it was just like explosive rope or something. I don't quite remember what it was called, but I think that's it. Oh, this ain't just any old wire. This is an FLSC. God damn. Ooh. Is that enough? I mean, it destroyed the guillotine belts. Okay. I mean, maybe this isn't what I'm thinking of then. I was gonna say, like, it would have been, it would have been a really good callback, but also, why would they be explaining it here if we saw it before? Sorry, my memory, as you know, is not the greatest, so please do let me know. Okay, well, the belt's gone. So, shall we find out how well my pea shooter works on you? Okay, headshots. Is that it? I mean, we've seen, like, cyborgs survive this kind of thing. Or, yeah, cyborgs. So, is that enough? Nope, it's not enough. Oh, jeez. I don't think it means anything. Why would you want to raise a kid on Mars? Okay, that's not what I expected from the chapter title. But okay. So first of all, really showing off the the difference between Das and Guillotine. That Das is all about the finer things. He's about the point of it. He wants to be the cowboy. But also, Guillotine just said it does nothing for a cyborg, implying that they're all cyborgs. Like, if Das was not a cyborg, then he probably wouldn't have said anything. Just like, oh, well, I guess you lit the fire for you. Oh, jeez. Okay, so he had a hidden chainsaw in there. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. Come on, Das, you've got to have at least one final move. I don't quite know what it would be, though. Like, clearly he didn't, like, he thought his plan was going to work out. It also feels kind of weird to be getting this, like, to have had the flashback and to be quoting it right afterwards. It's the kind of thing I don't see a lot in manga. I see it more so in animated stuff and in like live action stuff. Because, it's just restating the same thing. It feels almost like an echo of what just was said. Oh, okay, I see. So, he's restating it, but then going a step beyond. I ain't cut out to be a hero, but a grown man can't help himself. He's got to show off in front of the kids. Ah. Well, there goes his head. Come on. Did he survive, though? Come on. Alright, so, this arm definitely confirms he was a cyborg. The fact that he survived the head injury, too. Okay, I think... I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get there and just be with them again, or if he's going to collapse and die. Ain't none of us got a choice in where we're born, only the right to suck it up and get through it. Oh, okay. So, he's going to distract the ships as well. What an absolute legend. Live to see the other side. Erica, Yoko. Wow, and that's how the chapter ends. Like, it was powerful as a chapter of the volume, but if this was, just a chapter that I was watching, or that I was reading as it was being serialized, man, that would have left a powerful feeling in my guts. Not a bitter one, because I do think this is a good end. Like, he went out being cool, being the hero. He was against insurmountable odds, but he knew he wasn't going to win against, the giant ship. Well, I hope they get out alive. I mean, the ship's still around, so let's see. Because of that color page, I do feel like they might just get picked up. It is extremely possible. Like, at some point, they have to end up there again. So I assume this, this breakout is not going to go very far. Aww. It's interesting that Yoko's, like, vision of herself also has her with, like, the open mouth. Like, this is her, right? Like, it's got the same scarf as her. And then Mom, obviously. Gosh, it's so cute. Okay, look at all the airplanes. What is Erica gonna do? Like, clearly she's resolving herself to do something. Okay, so it's gotta be run out there and get caught. And then while she's, being the distraction, the two of them will run off. Okay, nope, not was Oh boy, I was not expecting that. I was so ready for this to not be a big page reveal. I mean, first of all, I don't know what this accomplishes. It's a very Erica thing to do. Like, now that she's been raised by Muster, now that she has that spirit of evil within her, but for what purpose? How does this help? I don't understand. What is this plan? It also does sadden me a little bit that, she didn't actually want her to be her adoptive mother. I mean, I could have figured that, but I wanted to believe, But okay, also, this does explain why she had the knife out on the cover. Not what I thought she was going to do with it. Yoko and I are going to let Marquise catch us. It's the only way for us to survive, and you'll get the blame. Oh, okay. Right. Because, like, it is a big storm, and Mars is a big, big planet. It does make a lot more sense for them to just turn themselves in. Yeah, this is definitely, like, the top 3 most chilling things Erica's ever done. Like, specifically, to do it to someone who, for all she knows, loves her, like, genuinely, and who definitely loves Yoko. How is she going to explain this to Yoko, though? Like, there's clearly a knife stuck in her. I mean, maybe it's going to be as simple as, waiting for her to bleed out. But God, I'm usually not the kind of person to, to look at a child and go, ah, devil child. But, I mean, if you're ever going to do it, you do it now, right? Erica truly is a devil child. We've seen what brought her to this state. Like, it's not like I'm dehumanizing her. But at the same time, jeez. Okay, so she did notice, and I mean, it is Yoko. To be fair, she's not the brightest tool in the shed. The sharpest tool in the shed, I mean. Shh, don't tell her about the fact that I stabbed you. Sorry, Yoko. Mama's gonna die now. It does tug at my heartstrings. I do feel real bad about this, but because of the presentation, like, because of this, the sudden knife, and then specifically the shh, or not even a shh, it's more because, like, she is turning her head, so it's more of a I find it so comical. Like, it's equal parts comical and horrible. What a miserable end to an insignificant life, stabbed in the heart by a little girl and left to die against these freezing rocks. Aww. Okay, what does she want to say? Oh, whoa. Didn't expect the flashback for her. I never had any hope from the start. I hated competing with others, so instead I tried to live my life without drawing attention to myself. I did have the same dreams as everyone else, but I gave up on them early on. I didn't have a choice. Oh, man. Like, we've seen a lot of slums in, in Alita as a whole, but I guess it's weird or just different because it's so, like, not super sci-fi. Like, this person has a cyborg arm, but even then, they're not, like, heavily modified. Whereas I'm so used to the scrapyard. I'm so used to, like, poverty, but it's also very sci-fi poverty. This feels way more real. Like, or, it's more relatable because they look more human, I should say. Okay. This knife stuck into my heart. Is it my recompense? Was it really so wrong to have avoided responsibility for so long? I don't know how she would make amends here. Like, she's going to take responsibility. I guess that's it, actually. Like, by accepting it and by, taking the fall in her death, she is going to take responsibility. Even if it's not, like, even if she shouldn't have died here, she's willing to do it. She's willing to take responsibility the one time where she didn't really need to. Okay, my real name is Kyoko Bima, and I'm not your actual mother. Ah. Erica, why? Actually, why? I mean, I guess it's just to make Yoko love her more, like to drive her back into her arms. You stabbed the knife into my heart to make me tell her the truth, didn't you? You want to know my true feelings, don't you? I want you to remember these words. I love both of you. Oh, and she's hugging Erica. These two facial expressions are amazing. Like, they're both so genuinely surprised. And Yoko crying tears of, horror, pain, but also happiness in her last moments. Like, genuinely saying that she loves her. And then Erica, like, baffled, trying to fight against it, because how dare she? Nope, sorry, Erica, you're gonna have to live with it. You're gonna have to live knowing that someone who genuinely loved her, loved you from the bottom of her heart, got killed because you stabbed her in order to get a way out. If I didn't already have the setup of using the volume cover for the the thumbnail each time, this would make a really good thumbnail. Like, just tilt it slightly. Oh, okay. So first of all, I didn't fully realize that Muster was here. But okay, yeah, that's him. And of course, he knows evil. He would know the difference between a murder stabbing and a suicide stabbing. But then again, he's got a soft spot for Erica, so sure, I'll accept it. Why not? I really thought she was going to survive, like especially with the cover. I mean, sorry, whoops. I guess that was the bait and switch. That you go into it, you analyze it, you think, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen. Doss is going to die, everyone else is going to survive, and then you get that 1-2 punch. Well, it does explain why in the color page neither of them are there for Yoko and Erica when they're, at the what I assume is the carrying on ceremony. She really didn't deserve that. Like, was she the most virtuous person? I guess not. We didn't truly get to see her sins, though, apart from lying. But, yeah. Ooh, the Ethnarch has emerged. Let's see it. Oh, snap. Also, so this is the head we saw before. Like, this is what I remember seeing. There's also a face on the side. Is this the face that was on the, No, it isn't. Damn. I thought I had something going there. Like, it has sort of the big prominent nose, but it's not quite that prominent. Okay, so they're based upon the guardian angels that, yeah. So they are not actually legendary angels, as far as we know. It could be a lie. Like, it could just be like, these are the real ones, but we've said that we made them in order to continue using them without, making people believe in the old mythology. I get, like, I still don't know quite what is real and what is fake then. Or not fake, but, mythological. Like, there's no reason why the mythology has to be real. But because it's there, it makes me feel like some of that has to be around. But then again, like, it's not like I think the Jinn are really a thing that exists. I guess the fact that there are 9 founders, but 12 of these means that these most likely are, they were made here and now, and if we see a true Ethnarch, it'll happen way later on. Okay, the ritual of succession refers specifically to the passing down of the rights to pilot the Ethnarch. And this is the color page. Is this the first time we've seen? Oh no, Ryan's. The last volume we had the space pirates in space. That was also in the volume. I was about to say, is this the first time we've seen one of these? No, my memory's not that bad. But okay, I guess we're here. Yoko's gonna be the new Lord of Sidonia. Her eyes look like Lady Kagura's. And yeah, that is quite ironic. Poor Ninon, if only she knew. I haven't seen anything of Muster and his people for days, though. So, it's gotta be something. Like, we've gotta have some sort of big Count of Monte Cristo, final revenge plots. But I don't know what this could be leading to. Like, legitimately, I have no idea. Apart from, it might be as simple as, hey, here's your new, here's the new successor, now I'm gonna kill her, now I'm gonna kill you. Maybe. Gosh, what does she look like now? I mean, we saw, like, the tentacle made out of faces before, so she's gotta look pretty rough. So how are they gonna flip this, too? Because I assume, like, they're not gonna say what's going on with her. So how much of this is real, how much of it is fake? 13 years ago, the Allied Mars Army defeated invaders in the Northern Exposition. Right. By the way, I did get the lowdown last reaction on, the fact that these are the space pirates, the ones that we've been talking about all series that I forgot about. So this does have more weight to it than I initially thought of. Amid this perilous balance of powers, it is imperative that we restore the strength of Sidonia. I mean, yeah, he's lying, but at the same time, like, Kagura does not seem like she's fit to lead anyways. Like, whether this is correct or not, I don't know, but, like, I can see it. I would still be okay with this, so far. It's called the Negama Report. Ah, right, yes, this was the torturer guy. Okay. So, like, he's coming right out and saying it, like, hey, she doesn't have a father. She is just a copy of Lady Kagura. Or not a copy, but, she was grown from Lady Kagura. Okay. And yeah, Kagura clearly not happy with this. Huh, did they have to, like, sedate her, maybe? Like, to force her to give up? I mean, obviously, she doesn't want this to happen. She didn't consent to this. She tried to kill Yoko the last time with her face tentacles, so yeah. She must be bound and gagged, though, then. Like, for her to not, like, spill out and, scream for this to stop. And now it is time for the Ethnarch's ritual succession. Okay, let's see it. The apparatus will measure your microbiome. All right, fair. Like, I'm curious as to how that works, though, because, like, she was raised in a completely different area from Lady Kagura. Like, she should have a similar microbiome. That's kind of, that is how people work. But at the same time, like, your environment, the things you eat, the, like, the life you live, sorry, it all, like, impacts your microbiome and, your gut flora and whatnot, so it should be different, right? Okay, well, Kagura Dornberg identified. Yoko's DNA and blood samples were identified as not... Huh? But it just said Kagura Dornberg identified. Okay, so they did check her DNA and blood samples. So I guess what it's saying is the microbiome is the same, but the DNA and blood are completely different. That's even weirder. How in the world do you do that? Yoko is not of the Dornberg line, but that's impossible. Just shoving it back in her mouth. Oh, okay. This is most unseemly, Duke Marquis. Oh my gosh, it's Muster. It's Muster. I love the added detail of he had the priest staff, he dropped it, and then he pulled out another staff. I mean, we know, it's his staff, but at the same time, there's something so extra about that. It won't matter how many times you ever tested. As I said, Yoko is not Kagura's child. Okay, well then, that is. I mean, either she's not a Mascotoma. I was saying as a joke earlier on, like to someone else, that hey, what if it turns out that the actual Lady Kagura Mascotoma was switched at birth with Yoko? What else could it be? It could be like assuming she is a not Teratoma, Mascotoma. I guess she could be one of Muster's Mascotomas, though she is female. Oh, she could be Muster's sister. That's also very possible. Or, she's from Muster's sister. Because we did have that whole thing last volume where they brought her up, and I mean, it wasn't Muster at the time; it was Idal. Like he specifically mentioned her, and we never got to see what happened to her. We didn't get to see disembodied body parts of her. So possible. It's got to be either that or just I switched the bodies, and I assume the DNA test was I switched the DNA, or I changed the programming on the machine you used. Oh man, that's so cool. So, I mean, those are some scary guns. He's finally doing it. He's finally getting his revenge completely and utterly. All right, now enough hiding in your tent. It's time to see the sun. Let's get a look at you. Oh boy, definitely. She's definitely lost some of her good looks. Also, there's actually quite a bit of hair growing from some of these, like mostly the top ones. She herself has quite a bit of hair. This isn't honestly as disturbing as last volume though. Like last volume was, I don't know what it was about the teratomas, but it was so much worse. Mascotomas, sorry. But it's cartoony enough that it doesn't make me want to vomit. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, actually, I don't want to look at that, sorry. I was just about to say, yeah, this is fine, but no, it isn't. It's still disturbing. It is extremely, There's nothing left of the beauty once hailed far and wide as the Rose of Mars. Okay, Yoko was born from Mascotoma. I simply replaced the mother's name when I handed her over to you, and there's only one other female we can talk about. It's gotta be it. It's gotta... Oh my god. I'll say it's once the reveal actually happens. Because, oh my gosh. It won't be happening here. Oh, inside the Ethnarch is where you'll meet your doom. Okay. You're Zoe, aren't you? Okay. My god, Zoe. So, back here, let's take a little step back. So, around this time, this was Zoe pretending to be Muster, pretending to be the priest. Also with two different sets of fake Canes. What in the world? That is... I don't even think Scooby-Doo's done that before. I've seen, parodies of Scooby-Doo do it. I don't think Scooby-Doo's done it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this explains your lover. Or, your admirer. It's her. It's him. How I've waited for this moment. So, he can barely even stand. He can't control himself. I don't quite know what he wants to do then. Like, it's gotta just be a we're going to die together moment. Like, I've set the Ethnarch to self-destruct. And that also explains, like I said before, fake Kane, but this is probably the real Kane, like the real cloak, the real outfits, because he doesn't need it anymore. Like, that's it. His revenge is going to be complete once Lady Kagura is dead. Interesting expression on the Ethnarch, actually. Like, before it looked very, like, not neutral, but, like, neutral scary almost, whereas this looks like it's crying almost. Like, it's got sort of upturned eyes, the jaw is very, like, almost quivery, and that might just be because of the sketch style, though. Like, the teeth are gritted. Okay, log 30 musters tears. In this moment, when he finally gets his revenge, we're seeing his tears. I mean, it might be tears of victory, or it might be tears of just, I regret everything. Like, I can't believe I did all of this for this. It doesn't feel good. Maybe. So, as we established before, like, she's in there. The succession did not happen, but Odion is active, so... Okay. Like, is it going to be as simple as self-destruct, or is it going to be something else? My true name is Ital Sanan, the man you ruined, tortured, and murdered 13 years ago. And even there, she doesn't remember, not in the slightest. I mean, that just fits her, though. Even in his, in his death, she couldn't stick around long enough to give him, the slight masochistic pleasure of dying in front of her. It would appear that you're one of the men I sacrificed to create the Mandrake. First of all, I guess she did just kill a bunch of other people in order to get the Mandrake. Also, did it work? Like, she said create the Mandrake. Like, it might just be a fake attempt or something, or, an incomplete attempt. But did she do it? Did she actually make the Mandrake? Does that work? I can't believe, like, in this state, destroyed as she is, with Odion Bak about to either, like, self-destruct or go on a rampage, she's still able to pull off the Ojo-sama. Oh! You are indeed my queen of vice. This is exactly what I needed you to be. I mean, fair. Like, if she regretted anything, if she, like, turned back and decided, oh no, it's not worth it, I'm sorry, like, he would have a bitter feeling in his mouth. But with this, like, because she's such utter garbage, he can go all the way and not be disturbed in the slightest by what he's doing. So it was indeed valuable lost technology, but it wasn't anything he could use. Okay, so maybe it is just immortality. Like, maybe it, I don't remember the timeline perfectly, but I guess it might be, like, the Methuselization thing. I mean, we know how Methuselization went open source, but we don't know the actual, like, root of it as far as I remember. So this is most likely the root of it then. But yeah, so that's why we shifted gears. Why it's less of a I rule, all must, suffer while I'm the best, It's more of a just sacrifice. Like, he knows he's going to be done. That's pretty cool, actually. And it does bring everything full circle. Like, he has been evil this entire time, but in a way, he's doing something good for, one last bit of his life. Like, he's bringing it all to an end. For good, for good and for ill. Okay, I guess we're gonna get a fight with Erica. Huh. So, interesting. Like, of all the things she could have gotten mad about, it was specifically Policella. I didn't think she liked her that much. Like, she did seem to be, in a position of power. It was clear that, she served Lady Kagura. But that's a neat way to almost humanize her a bit. Like, at the very least, she had a favorite. Pick up that whip, use it to strike me. He finally gets to enjoy that masochism. I've modified the hatch. The two of us will never leave this chamber as long as my heart still beats. Okay, so he's just egging her on. Like, yeah, kill me. If you don't kill me, you can't get out. I mean, it has to be Ital's sister then. It happened at the carnival in Sklodowska 4 years ago. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, so she was definitely turned into a sideshow freak. What you're about to see is a true living monster. Oh. Like, they cut off her legs. Or her arms, her legs. Her eyes are sewn shut. They clearly performed some surgery on her. I mean, I guess that might have actually been the the procedures to cure the mascotomas, maybe. Closed off the tent without drawing attention from outside, and then killed all the carnies and visitors from inside with the Christamorton poison. Yes. Nolan's tongue had been ripped. Oh my god, so she couldn't even speak. So she doesn't even get to, give some final words to, her brother after all this time. Her eyes and ears were sewn shut. Oh, and so she can't hear anything either, and her limbs have been amputated. Oh my god. Lord Muster released Nolan from her suffering using Dr. Chimoy's Sabulomorton prototype. Okay, so Crystal Morton was definitely what we saw before. So, Sabulomorton. It seems like a variant that... I mean, I guess it just instantly disintegrates the person, so either it turns them into a very weak, rock, as opposed to a very strong one that you can use for building, or... I guess that's it. It's gotta be just it made her so fragile that she was able to just collapse instantly. Oh, that's really cool, too. Like, it says something about him as a person, that he didn't even bother saying, that it was him. That, hey, it's your brother. He just wanted to free her as quickly as possible. It was the first time I ever saw Lord Muster cry. I did not think it was possible for a human to cry as he did. Just tears of blood. Oh my god. I mean, to have lived this entire time, to be Baron Muster at that point, and, to have assumed, yeah, sure, everyone's dead, but at least they're gone, they suffered horribly, I'll get my revenge, but to have that glimmer of hope of the person I love, my sister is still alive, but she's been suffering horribly this entire time, more so than anything the doctor would have done. Kakura had taken Nolan to the palace as a prisoner personal toy. Oh, man. So, again, that does, it increases the, the true revenge here of, you played with Nolan this entire time. You were the one who did cause all those scars, who messed her up horribly, and then at the very end sold her off to a carnival when you were done having fun with her. To have a Mascotoma from her be the one that eventually managed to, threaten her existence as ruler. Huh. Dr. Negama is really, really chill. He went from, oh, you survived, or, how did you survive, to, hey, let me run some tests, for old time's sake. I prepared some gifts for you, celebrate our reunion, your wife, children, and pet cat. Man, what a... First of all, what a cold-hearted man to not care at all. I mean, not even cold-hearted, that's the thing. It's not like he's being chilly about it. He just doesn't seem to register that any of this is weird. He's jumping right to his curiosity. Also, I do like Muster's thoroughness of, maybe he won't be broken up by his wife or by his kids, so let me kill the cat as well. I'm disappointed, of course, but I simply can't fathom what you intend to achieve by this. I mean... He definitely, he's not one of the geniuses that ended up inside of Trinidad, was he? I don't, It's been a while. I mean, the name Negama doesn't sound super obvious, but it's possible. He's definitely a weirdo. I mean, no, he's not a member of Tiferet. The whole point of the geniuses is that they were created with the Tiferet gene blender machine, never mind. But, I mean, maybe he donated some material at some points. Because, he definitely has that weird, quirky scientist vibe to him that we really haven't had at all in Mars Chronicle. Huh. He's definitely a lot colder and more difficult to be interested in than Nova. He's fun in his own right, but, he's a very different character. Okay, so, at the very least, he was willing to run when she was threatening him with death. The Mascotomas hold incredible potential within them. This is my proof of that. So is this her? Is this Alita? Is this the earliest we've ever seen Alita? Oh, that's cool. Whether it is or not, that reveal of, hey, this thing you thought was impossible, all the faces all over your body, the things that just scream out in pain every once in a while, yeah, you can turn those into a real person. It's possible. I mean, clearly, obviously this is all taking place pre-Methuselization, otherwise Muster would have just, gotten some of that sweet, sweet Methuselization juice. But also, this is not a problem that humanity has by the time of the mainline series. No one wants a bunch of extra mouths to feed. Oh. She was nearly invalid, invalid, so I rented her out to a sideshow exhibit. Also, that coldness of, oh hey, that was your sister, perhaps. Alright, well, I guess he's gonna die. It's better if I don't say. I imagine he would have been very brutal, especially because clearly, like, it would take a lot to make him suffer. Like, I don't think he's got turned to stone then smashed. Okay, so, by the way, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to say it out loud, but this was the thing that was hitting me a little while ago. Does that mean Muster is Yoko's uncle? That also means that, like, Yoko is Erika is for all intents and purposes, Muster's child. Like, basically. But this means that the two of them are, like, sisters in this much more bonded way. Like, Yoko by genetics, Erika by traits. Which is, oh my gosh, like, for a character that I thought was going to be, like, a pretty important villain for this, for Mars Chronicle, I didn't expect him to be this tied to our main character, or main characters. I mean, I'm really surprised. I don't think that's what he meant. Maybe it is, maybe it's just hey, I want to leave this at the very end, I'm gonna be trapped with Kagura, but let's just wipe the slate clean. But I felt like he probably liked Erika a bit more, and especially with Yoko. Like, Yoko is his daughter's child, or not daughter, his sister's child. Like, why? Why not let them live? All right, log 31. Goodbye, Muster. This is gonna be heavy. I really have liked him a lot, but I mean, if he's gonna go down, I want him to go out with a bang. Oh, okay. So I guess that's Odeon Bach making a break for it. All right, here we go. It's operating battle mode with all its restraints removed. Okay. Oh. The brainwave scanner that sees unable to read the commands from your mind. Do you know why? Because the signal noise of all those Mascotoma brains is jamming your mental commands. Oh my gosh. Like, it's the ultimate, like, it works specifically because she has the Mascotomas, which is something he suffered from as well. It's not a part of his plan that, like, he gave her, but it all works together so perfectly. Oh my god. And now she has a front row seat to watching her Ethnarch just destroy her own city. This also means, I mean, it's already been kind of confirmed, but Yoko's not going to rule Sidonia. Probably not going to happen. Maybe the Rebel. Jeez. I mean, how do you fight it? It's literally a giant robot. It has this very, like, Evangelion meets, like, Pacific Rim feel to it. Look how clunky it is, yet how powerful it is. And even here, even in this moment, she's not mad because, these people are dying. She's upset because she's the ruler of Sidonia, and how dare you hurt, her belongings. Oh my god. She really is the Queen of Ice. Like, you can't get past it. What a shot. What an aesthetic. A little too clean for my tastes. Like, I do think the Last Order, like, big, wide, full-page spreads with a lot of crazy, like, not detail per se, but, like, I don't know, something about that, like, something about Last Order's 2-page spreads got me a lot more than Mars Chronicles thus far. It's still good, like, it's still fantastic, but it doesn't have the same feel to it. Like, I feel like if this page happened in Last Order, I think the clouds would be a bit dustier, maybe, and we'd have, like, maybe something else. Though, I guess, like, the wires do a good job of framing everything. It's nice. It doesn't detract from Odienbach. Like, I might be wrong. I mean, not sure if it's gonna help because it's Erika. I mean, she might just be going completely mad, but I feel like she's gonna survive. Oh, how fun all this is. The city, the people, everything being torn to bits and stomped to dust. This is Muster's revenge. Oh, and she's so crazy carefree. Like, just on the edge of falling off, but she doesn't care in the slightest. Oh my god, Erika. I mean, I do agree with this. Like, Zoe this entire time has felt like she's, she follows Muster, but that's about it. Whereas, like, Erika understands his ideology. He understands him as a person. She gets him as a spirit animal. I guess this also kind of explains, her killing mom. Or, their, combined mom. Like, it wasn't just because she thought she was a liar. It wasn't just pragmatic. It was also this idea of, like, if you love someone, you gotta kill them. If you really do care about them, you'll betray them and you'll destroy them because that's how it works. He pulled it off. He was a horrible man, but he pulled it off. Goodbye, Muster. I hated your guts, but I really respect you. I mean, that's it. There goes Sidonia. Ah. At last, the moment where my vengeance is complete. Oh, the acid. Oh my god. Will it stop rampaging once she's dead, or does it just keep on going because it's like, oh, pilot dead. Continue until, enemy has been defeated. The Odeon Vok rampaged for 3 days and 3 nights. It only came to a stop after it reduced virtually all of Sklodowska to rubble. Also, I guess this wasn't... where was the map? Sorry, I know we're right near the end, but I do want to fully determine where Sklodowska is. So, I guess Sidonia is the province. I guess it is, yeah. Like, these are the dotted border is not the same as the actual border here. Okay. So, yeah. So, Sklodowska is, the capital. It took another 20 hours for the rescue team to pry off the external armor and reach the control pod. What they found there was a pair of skeletons that had partially melted and fused together. And you can see the extra holes here where, like, the extra faces were starting to grow. Oh, man. I mean, in death, they look like they were made for each other. My god. Right, so it's all falling apart. It's all going to, I guess not to anarchy, but it's entering an age of warlords as opposed to an era of, existing lords. The unending fires of civil war enveloped Mars for over a dozen years during this time, but the story of Yoko and Erica continues. Yoko taking a nap, Erica with the crazy, crazy eyes that she always has, and that is the end. Ah, okay. So sand and death to mean a poison that kills reducing the flesh to a granular sand-like state. So it wasn't like making her a soft mineral. It was just turning her into sands, or turning her into like a bunch of grains, so that she would just immediately fall apart. Well, that is it. That is Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle Volume 6. What a roller coaster. Like, it was such a good end to the arc, because I don't know what's happening next. Like, this one was a little easy to predict just because, it was all, like, said beforehand. We knew the vaguities of what would happen. It just came down to, like, how are those going to be subverted? How is it all going to tie together? But it was masterfully done. Of all the volumes to have to end it off on, I'm glad it was this one. Wow. Really adored it. Erica is getting scarier and scarier. I'm deeply, deeply concerned by her. I'm gonna stop flipping through the pages, by the way. I do that just, like, instinctively. I do it when I'm thinking about stuff by myself as well, but I don't want to show the pages if I'm not talking about them. We got the big backstory. We don't have to have Yoko be a super important person, but, like, she is important in a way. Like, the two of them are sisters in a deep, like, spiritual way now. And Yoko is carrying on, like, if not like a legendary bloodline or anything, she's carrying on the genes and the wishes of a good person, a completely fine young woman. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to rewatch that flashback or reread it. Now that I know that, hey, this is the person who ends up, giving birth in a way to Alita. Like, wow. I wouldn't have guessed it too. Like, I mentioned it earlier on in this volume. But that was just like, process of elimination. Because I think Yoko does look a lot like Kagura and a lot like, what I remember the younger, not, Ital's sister to look like. Well, that was extremely satisfying. As a whole, I don't have, like, anything that comes directly to mind. I've been really enjoying Mars Chronicle. Not as much as Last Order, but it's still very good. It is definitely a different genre. In the same way the Last Order and the original series are very different, I think that Mars Chronicle is definitely something that is for Alita fans. Like, if you are an insane person who started just with Mars Chronicle, let me know. I'm very curious to see what you make of it, but I don't think you'd enjoy it that much. Like, because it's a prequel, it doesn't necessarily rely on us knowing stuff from the future, but, like, it definitely makes us use that as, like, that's our entry point. That's why we care about Yoko, even though Yoko doesn't do that much. It's why we care about Erica to some extent, even though she's hilariously evil. Like, wow. But yeah, so rest in peace, DOS. Rest in peace, what was her name? Rest in peace, Kyoko, and rest in peace, Baron Muster. We lost my favorite characters all in one volume. And like, I mean, the series has been amazing, so I'm sure we're going to get more characters, better ones. It's going to be an absolute blast. But wow, this feels bittersweet. Anyways, that is it for Battle Angel Alita for now, until the next volume. Still going to read the volumes as they come out with a 1 month delay, just so if you're buying the volumes, you get to read it before I do reactions. You've got plenty of time to wait. You don't have to, like, rush. And it also makes my reactions less of a, like, competitor, so to speak, for the official release. Because I'm not putting out, like, I'm putting it out around the same time, I guess, like, within a month. But, like, the fact that I'm talking over it constantly, combined with the fact that it is, it's a video, you can't really control it. The resolution's not the best because it's, you're reading off of a video that's a downscaled 1080p video, downscaled to 720p. Like, I don't think this is, like, cutting into sales of Mars Chronicle, and it shouldn't, because Mars Chronicle is amazing. I have been loving it. So yeah, overall, final-ish thoughts, I would definitely say, like, of Alita as a whole, I think I viscerally like Last Order more than the original series, but I like the original series more than Mars Chronicle. But even at the bottom, so to speak, of the 3 series, I still think Mars Chronicle is better than a lot of manga I've read. It is really fantastic. Kishiro's art is great. It's not quite as flashy as it was in Last Order, but then again, a lot of the stuff he's been showing hasn't been flashy. It's been more like character-focused things. And I do think that his, like, human character designs have gotten a lot better. Like, they're still very cartoony, which is, I'm not saying that's bad, but, like, in addition to that cartooniness, he's been able to show off even more deep, like, legit emotions, while still keeping, the cute characters cute and the adult characters adults. It's been great. Wow. All right, well, that's it. I'm not going to dilly-dally anymore. If you have anything at all you would like to ask me about the entire series at this point, minus anything from Volume 7 or the scanlations, obviously, but feel free to leave anything you'd like to say in the comments below. I read all the comments. I reply to, the ones that are things I could reply to, like if you're, making points or if you're asking me something. But even if you just want to say, like, hey, good job or whatever, cool. Thank you all so very much for watching these reactions. It's been a blast. It is definitely, like, these have been some of my favorite things to do on the channel as a whole. And I'm, big grateful thanks to Shueisha, by the way. It might just be a crazy oversight that's kept them from not pulling Alita, but I mean, for all the other series they've pulled, they've done it, and they've been completely within their rights because they own the material. So thank you to whatever force is keeping these reactions up. I hope you guys enjoy them. I'll be super hyped to come back and do some more. If you like Alita, I don't do a lot of other, like, sci-fi stuff on the channel, but I do a lot of stuff on the channel. So if you want to, like, check out some shonen stuff, some, like, LGBT stuff, I've got a wide variety on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now. Nya nya.